to ensure that your student gets the education that they set out to get, achieve the goals that they have set for themselves, attain a major or a degree that is not only lucrative for them, but taps into their passion for life, go on to, be good citizens of this country, pay some taxes and take you out to dinner every now and then, right? We want the very same things. We want your students to start smart and finish strong every single year. Another outcome that we really hope that you gain from coming through these eSeries is that, you're able to identify that the UTA Parent and Family Center is a helpful resource to you as a parent and family member, and in your plight to seek guidance and support to help your UTA student every single year, not just in their freshman year, every single year. Okay, so these are the things we hope you achieve and gain through coming through these e-sessions bi-weekly. We do have a couple housekeeping things that we need to share with you all. This is a community of families. We are hoping that we'll be able to spark some open discussion on many of these virtual calls. And so we just want to make sure to remind you to ensure to keep your comments and questions kind and respectful. We are a family here, and everyone feels comfortable in this space to share their concerns, questions, and or fears. Also, check your microphones periodically. Be sure to keep your microphones on mute when others are speaking. I will also mute everyone on the call, and the presenters will have to turn on their microphones. I don't want to have to do that, so just make sure that you keep your microphone on mute whenever you're not speaking. Also, do know that we're here to help you. We're here to help support you as parents and family members because you are our best retention agents. You are the ones on the front lines helping to support your students whenever they call home or come home. So if you have questions or concerns, please do know that we have a couple staff members in the chat feature ready to help address your questions or concerns. And if we don't know the answer to it, we will do our best to get that answered before the end of this call, or we will grab your answer from the chat feature and email you back directly, okay? And then lastly, we want to commemorate the day. We want you to take a quick photo with us, a virtual photo with us. So we will turn on our cameras toward the end of the call and take a family photo together, if you don't mind. So I'll ask you to turn on your cameras so that you can mav up with us and say cheese, okay? All right. I mean, you all are here for a specific reason. And that reason is to hear from someone other than me. Although I feel like hearing from me is a good thing. It is. I think it's a good thing. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Tasha Talton. I am the interim director of the UTA Parent and Family Center. And I am here with some of our student liaisons on the call and our graduate assistant, Anna Mariskal. And then we also have Zindi Namumu on the call as well to help support you in the chat feature. All right, without further ado, Liz, are you ready?
I am, Tasha. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's
awesome.
noon. I'm getting ready to have lunch, hear you speak about persisting and problem solving, okay. And how to help parents and family members. All right, take it away.
Thank you, Tasha. So excited to be a part of this new series. What an awesome idea, and what a great way for us to communicate to family members of our students on campus. So really excited to be a part of this today. So I have a presentation that I will share with everybody. And so we can get going on, make sure everybody can see the presentation. Are we good, Tasha?
We are good.
Okay, great. So I am Liz Richter. I work in the Division of Student Success. I've been at UTA for 16 years. And I have to say that being here on campus in the fall of 2020 is a brand new experience, not just for our students, but also for us who have been on this campus for many, many years. And so we're doing our best to adapt and be flexible and to continue to provide the great services that we can offer to our students on this campus. And so the Division of Student Success has been previously called University College. And a couple of years ago, we decided to change our name because our services have always been student focused and always focused on student success. And so we wanted to represent who we are and the units that are within the Division of Student Success, and being able to provide the services to faculty and staff across campus, but of course to the students who are on campus. So we are service oriented, and of course we are success oriented.
Okay, no more playing with that near the things.
Okay. And
Hey Liz, we're gonna need you to unmute.
Can you unmute yourself, Liz? Hey Liz, can you unmute yourself?
okay, I got muted, sorry.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm not sure what everybody was able to hear or not hear. So basically, I'm going to jump into this slideshow and talk about all the services that we can provide show you all the services we provide to students, and any of the services that we're offering to students. You can please reach out to us in the Division of Student Success if you have questions about the services and how your student can access what we have available. So within the Division of Student Success is our Testing Services Office. Testing Services is located in the basement of University Hall, which is adjacent to our central library right along Cooper Street. And so what we like to tell students to do, if they're coming onto our campus and they're looking for, a couple services, maybe they had great skills in math or in writing. So CLEP is a great advantage for our students. If we have students where they are native speakers in Spanish or another foreign language, we also offer tests that students can take, and they can save a lot of money that way. So taking a test, our CLEP is about $90 to $100, and it's going to save time as well. Some of our liberal arts degrees require up to 14 hours of a foreign language. So by taking a CLEP test, if a student is a native speaker of, say, Spanish, they can typically CLEP out of the Spanish classes and earn those 14 hours of credit. A student has the choice for Spanish and for French. If they CLEP and they make A's, that they can choose those classes for the letter grade. A lot of our other tests that we offer at CLEP, you're just going to take the credit for the course. But a couple of our foreign languages, students can actually take the letter grade, and a lot of students will actually use that to their advantage. And they'll take an A or a B that they're able to earn on those tests, and it'll impact their GPA in a positive way. So we also have some placement testing. Some of your students, if they came on campus as freshmen this year, maybe they had to take a test for the TSI. And the TSI stands for the Texas Success Initiative. It's legislated by Texas lawmakers. Students are required to show proficiency in reading, writing, and math when they enter a Texas public institution. And it's required of all public institutions in the state. And so if your student failed a portion of that test, that might be why they're enrolled in a developmental course, either reading or math. But it's a great way for students to learn that proficiency, especially for the math in the developmental coursework, and remediate, and then they can continue on in their academic journey once they pass the remedial coursework. And if any of you parents or any students on the line today that are thinking about going to graduate school, our testing center can also offer the GRE or the GMAT. So good things to know. So the University Advising Center is one of the largest units within the Division of Student Success. We have a staff of 17 academic advisors, all professional staff. And the staff in that office are going to work with your students one-on-one. In this virtual setting that we have at UTA right now, we've been working with a lot of students through our Microsoft Teams. So we are a Microsoft Office campus, a 365 campus. And so we take advantage of all of the Microsoft products that we can on this campus. And one of the great products that Microsoft Office offers is Teams. And so we can meet with students like this, face to face. We can just chat with them. If a student doesn't have a camera, we can just talk with them, just like a phone call through the Teams app. And so we encourage our students to go ahead and download that app onto their phone. They have to log into the team. So there's some integrity there that we know who we're talking to when we use Teams. So the student is on there and we're having conversations with them. But the academic advisors, particularly our freshman class, they're going to be seen here in the Division of Student Success for at least their first semester. And what we want to do with the freshman class in particular is make sure that they are transitioning well to a college campus, that they are acclimating well, that they know where the resources are on campus. The staff in the University Advising Center provide a lot of referrals to students, helping students find what they need to know on this campus. And so they can also, if they're unsure of what they want to study, or if they came in thinking that they wanted to be engineers and then realize they may not have that skill set and want to change a major, we offer major exploration and talk to students. We use an assessment called Focus 2, which is offered out of our Career Center. And so students take the assessment and they learn a lot about themselves, and they learn a lot about, you know, where their talents really are. And so major exploration is a great service that we can offer to students. Academic standing and a readmission review. Sometimes students might be struggling in their first semester. In the Advising Center and across campus, we're constantly communicating with students about their grades, how's their academic progress, how are they doing in a class at a particular point, do they need resources, do they need some tutoring. And so what we're going to do is, for our freshman class at 4 weeks, we're going to do an academic check. So we're going to ask students to go ahead and check on their 4-week progress report grades and see how they're performing. All students on campus who have a GPA less than a 2.25 also have access to midterm grades. And so midterms are going to be right in the middle of the semester before a drop date, giving students an opportunity to speak with their instructor, find out what they need to do, find out exactly where they stand in the class. Frequently, a student will think that they need to withdraw from a course, thinking that they're not performing well. Maybe they've looked at the syllabus and they don't know how the grades are adding up percentage-wise. So coming in to see an academic advisor is a great start. And we're going to guide the student on just the basic steps that they need to do to make sure that they are performing well in a course and taking advantage of all the resources that are available to them. So something that's also very important for our students on campus, no matter what stage of their academic journey that they are in, it's being able to look at their degree progress and understand their degree map, and we can guide them on courses that they need to be taking in a sequential order, electives that they might want to take that might support the degree plan that they are pursuing. And so we want students to really understand that our goal is to help them graduate as quickly as possible. So obviously 4 years is ideal. A lot of the students on our UTA campus are 4 or 5 years. And sometimes when students change their major, it may take 5 or 6 years. But we do a lot of persistence campaigns on our campus. So we're constantly reaching out to students to say, what can we do to keep you on track? What can we do to keep you successful? What can we do to help you find the resources in that next step of your academic journey? And coming up this fall, we'll be introducing what we're calling experiential major maps on our campus. And the experiential major maps are going to help students as they begin their academic journey, as they're transitioning into their sophomore and junior years, and as they're wrapping up in that final year. And the things that they need to be doing along the way, you know, maybe getting an internship, maybe it's time to get a job on campus, maybe it's time to join an organization. So we're constantly trying to reach out to students to make sure that they are staying connected to campus and doing the things that we know are going to be in their best interest. So this fall, we also have introduced student success advocates. And the fundamental difference between the student success advocates and the academic advisors will be that when the academic advisor is focusing on a lot of the academic journey and helping the student pick their courses and helping them get connected on campus, that if a student hits a bump in the road, that advocate can be there for the student. Let's say a student is trying to get a course and it's closed and we need some communication in the department or the college, that the student can reach out to this advocate, and perhaps the advocate can talk to somebody within the department to guide the student into another course that might satisfy the degree, or even they can determine that there is not just one student who needs a course, perhaps there are 10 or 15, and it's having greater conversations and broader and bringing in more people to talk about this idea of maybe offering some more seats or another section of the course. So we also want to focus with the student on having excellent communication skills, talking with their professor, some life skills, talking to a student who may be working a job, 15, 20 hours a week, and how to balance school and that job and what might be going on at home. So a lot of our students on this campus are non-traditional students, may have family, may have children, and so we're very aware of that. And our goal, again, is to support the student on their academic journey in all of those areas, academically and also socially, to help your student be the most successful that they can be. New Student Courses is another unit within the Division of Student Success. So your student may be enrolled in an 1131, or a transfer student might be in an 1101, or you might be in an 1101 course. And this course is designed for our freshmen, basically to help them transition onto campus. If they don't know how to read, multiple chapters of material to prepare for a test, staying organized, writing notes. For our 1101, for our transfer students, we're going to be focusing in that course more on how to connect the major to careers and the internship a little bit further down their academic journey. So we know the 1101 and those students need to get connected quicker to campus so they can, get into the workplace. So the 1131, 1101, both courses for our freshmen and transfer students, required for all students on this campus. And we really just want to enhance the study skills, just like the slide says. We're trying to help the student become a better student so they can graduate successfully. So we have learning communities at UTA. So typically when the freshmen come on campus, and of course this fall is very different because we're doing so many things virtually, but we still tried to cohort our freshman class in the 1131 and another course that's critical for the major that they chose. And so let's say, for instance, your student is a biology major. What we did is we paired your biology student with an 1131 and biology 1441. So a lot of the research says that students who have courses in common are learning the same way their peers are, they see each other in common classes, that the success rates of those students increase. And we're seeing that at UTA, where every year as we cohort our freshman class, we see more and more students persisting at a higher rate, retaining our students at a higher rate, which ultimately leads to higher graduation rates. The course is taught by a peer academic leader. So the students who teach this course typically are students who sat in the classroom just like your student, and they looked at that peer academic leader that was teaching them and they said, I can do that. I'm a leader. I want to talk to students about the importance of taking a course like this. And so these students are trained. They participate in some ongoing training. They learn about coaching and other kinds of study methods. So a great resource for your student, if they're enrolled in the 1131, it's that peer-to-peer, which also research shows that very successful for students who, are getting some good advice from a student who is actually an employee of the university and has gone through certain courses that the student is going to be experiencing. And so they can share those experiences. And we see great success for students who interact with their peers successfully. So the Academic Success Center, another part of the Division of Student Success, is where all of our academic resources are housed. So when we're on campus, the academic resource is on the second floor of our central library. So for the fall semester, all of our resource services are going to be offered virtually. So everything is online. We still have the tutoring, which is one-on-one. We still have the supplemental instruction, which is group-led, peer-led group learning. We're starting some what's called peer-led team learning this semester, PLTL. That's going on within the classroom during classroom time, breaking up the class into groups and having a peer lead some discussion on what's going on in the classroom. The difference between it and supplemental instruction is the SI, supplemental instruction, is taking place outside the classroom, so afterwards. And so we've seen great success with both of these methods. And so we know that students learn well from each other. The SI leaders and the PLTL leaders are students who earned A's or B's in these courses. And sometimes these students even had the professor who's teaching the particular course when they earned the high letter grade. And so they know how the professor teaches. They can tell the students how to study for tests, and they can all work together and just have a great learning experience. We're going to be kicking off some academic coaching this fall semester, looking at and examining how students learn, because we all know students learn different ways. Some are visual, some are doing things in different ways. And so again, we're just trying to focus in on students and how they can be successful, so that academic coaching is another resource for our students on campus. Student Support Services is a TRIO program. So you may have heard of TRIO programs in the high schools where your students attended. It's a federally funded program. And so students have to qualify to be in the TRIO program. You can see here on this slide, talks about students need to be a first-generation student, Pell Grant recipient, or a student with a disability. So as long as they meet one of these criteria, they can apply to TRIO Support Student Services. The program takes 250 students each year, and students have to, on an annual basis, reapply to be a part of TRIO Student Support. But this federal program is housed in the Division of Student Success, and another fantastic resource for our students on campus. One of the great services that we provide in the division is we actually offer a degree, a general studies degree. It's called University Studies. So we do not allow students who are freshmen to be directly admitted into university studies. We look at university studies as a multidiscipline. We have an interdisciplinary studies in on our campus, and it's housed in the Honors College. The university studies is generally a general studies degree. So traditionally, we're seeing students who are returners. A student who maybe they went to school several years ago and they're coming back to campus and they're looking for something, maybe just to complete a degree. They might be looking for something very specific, but are bringing in a lot of hours. Maybe they don't have a lot of financial aid left, so they can take advantage of the university studies degree. It has component areas that a student can choose, sit with an academic advisor, and create your degree plan. Basically, if you're a transfer student bringing in hours, we can take all your transfer credits and apply them towards this degree. It has a large area of electives for this degree. And we've had students who've gone on into medical school using this degree. So it's a very interesting degree. We also offer it online. Our degree online is through the Finish at UT. So we partner with other UT system schools throughout the state of Texas. And so students have access to what's called the Finish at UT portal. And so we encourage UTA students to enroll in online classes who are in this program right here at UTA, of course. But if there's a particular course that they have interest in and UTA doesn't offer it, the student can go into the Finish portal, and let's say UT El Paso has the course, or UT Rio Grande Valley, or UT Tyler. And so the student can look at a course being offered at another UT system school, take that course, and then it can transfer into the university studies degree, sometimes as just a transfer course, but other times it can come in and satisfy residency hours and even count towards a student's GPA. So it's a great option if anybody is considering completing a degree. A student just has to have 60 hours before they can complete this degree. We also have just created some what we're calling pathway plan options. So you can see what's available there. Frequently, we'll have a student who might be in one of the colleges on our campus, and let's say they're not meeting the particular GPA established by a college on the campus. And so they are allowed to come into the university studies degree. We're going to take those hours from another degree they may have been pursuing on our campus, apply them towards the degree. And if we can give them the university studies degree with a concentration in, let's say, business and management, or legal and criminal justice, or health and community studies, it gives students something that they can go in and they can apply for a job, and they can talk about a pathway and the interests that they had in particular areas, and basically sell themselves when they see a job that maybe they're very interested in. And so we have the success guide, which I know that's what today is all about. I put a link in the chat before the presentation started. Please grab that link. The website is through the Division of Student Success, and it's a success guide that can help students if they're having trouble getting into Canvas. Canvas is our learning management system at UTA, and basically it's where the course is housed. So the student logs into Canvas, and that's where they're going to find all their reading materials. That's where they're going to communicate with their faculty. That's where they're going to be able to have conversations with other students that are in the classroom. So if they need any support navigating those classes, or if something happens with their technology, there are multiple icons on that website that can help students with getting around and how to navigate through their classes, helping students stay organized, giving them some tips on study habits and technology support. And so technology support is also one of those areas that's really critical on campus. You know, we have students that are going into multiple systems, and so we want to make sure that we have support available to students. And I know that our IT department has a chat feature on the Division of Student Success website. We also have chat. So it's artificial intelligence. We are moving into what we're calling a live chat area. And so hopefully within the next week to 10 days, we'll have academic advisors and other support staff on our live chat. So if a student has a quick question and we can answer that, we'll be available live for the students to talk to. So here is some contact information. Mine at the top, liz.richter@uta.edu. DSS, that's the Division of Student Success at uta.edu. The Texas Success Initiative that I spoke of earlier is TSI@uta.edu, and our advising center, UAC@uta.edu. So Tasha, I'll give it back to you.
Wow, Liz, you have done a phenomenal job. Thank you so much for sharing all of that information with us. It was so much to grasp, wasn't it, everyone? My goodness. I will open it up for questions for Liz. I think we had a few in the chat as well.
Okay.
We'll open it up for questions, and then I'll take it from there and kind of wrap up. All right, what questions do you have? You have Anna or Zindi. What questions can we grab from the chat?
Let's see.
Most of the questions were answered pretty well by our team, but there is one question by Sean. Do you have any information about the VA DEA stipend for housing?
So with the VA, so we have a VA center on campus, the Swift Center. I would say call the VA. James Coombe is in that office, and reach out to James, and I'm sure he can help you with that. Let me see if I can find a web address real fast for the attendee. And
well, we can look that up. We'll look that up. Our team will look up the VA web address to the Veteran Services Department web address, and we'll throw it in the chat for them for sure.
I see a comment in there. If a student is experiencing, is not having a good experience with their academic advisor, I mean, the best thing to do is to, you know, I would encourage the student to continue to meet with the advisor first, because sometimes Students are going to come across people on campus, professors and just other students on campus that they may just not get along with. And so, but if it escalates, I am more than happy to speak to a student. We have so many advisors and so many staff that usually we can accommodate the student with another staff member. It's not a problem. But I would encourage the student to think about what is that difficulty and seeing if we can't work through it. But I'm happy to be emailed on that situation and see what's going on.
Perfect. Can you even speak to, I mean, I know that we received several calls and emails related to not being able to, their student not being able to speak to an advisor. What's the best way? Because I know that, you all work through New Maverick Orientation in the entire summer, and you get really busy just before the school year begins. And so it's really high pressure, high anxiety for a lot of people to speak directly to someone. What's the best way that someone can connect with you all?
Right now, Tasha, the best thing to do is to do what we're calling walk-in, but it's a virtual walk-in. And so students can come in and we're doing same day appointments. And so, but these appointments will be virtual. They'll be through Teams or it can be on the phone. If they go to our website, they'll see a link to schedule the appointment. They'll have a choice to choose when they get into the where to book their appointment. Do they want to talk on the phone? Do they want to do it virtually? We will see students face to face. We're doing it social distance. So it might be some space in our lobby. And so we're going to ask that students, if they want to meet face to face, that they please wear a mask and just have that expectation that we'll be social distancing in the lobby area, more than likely, because the staff offices are pretty small.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the virtual walk-in right now is the best. By the way, late registration is now over. And so for any students who are trying to add any classes to their schedule, that they will have to get what's called an add form from their academic advisor. And then that add form has to be signed by the instructor for the course that you're trying to get into. So let's say you're trying to get into an English course, that form is going to have to be signed by the instructor of that particular section. And then the form has to go to the academic advisor in the English department. And then the English department will then enroll the student into the course. So they're going to start with their advisor, and their advisor is basically going to provide the steps for each course that a student might be trying to get into, at this point. But as a reminder, classes started last Wednesday, so we're getting close to, a full week into courses. And so just being mindful of students adding classes to their schedule at this date, but we still are having some students who are still working on that.
Okay, perfect. Were there any other questions that anyone else had in the chat, or even parents and family members? This is a good time for you to, turn on your microphone and ask your question.
We did have one parent ask if Liz could share the success guide that she was referring to.
Yeah.
They're not seeing it in the chat.
It was at the very top. Let me grab it. Let me open it up and I can share my screen again. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Can everybody see it okay? So here is the online academic success guide that I was talking about. And so it's a fairly large URL. I can add it again to the chat so you can see it. I'll pop it in there in a second. So on the success guide, so some of the things I was talking about, being able to, your student can get some help here navigating online classes. If they just need some, some life skills help, staying focused, here are the study habits, getting organized, how to communicate. So we talk to students a lot about how to write really good email. It's not uncommon that I will get an email from a student and it'll say, hey, can you help me get into an English class? I really need some help. Thank you, Joe. And so Joe might be emailing me from his personal email. I really want to help Joe get into the English class. I don't know Joe's last name, and I don't know his ID number. And so in that 1131 course that I mentioned, we talked to students about communication and how to communicate in a way that's respectful, because we want students, it's a two-way conversation, and that's what we're going to be providing to students. And so, but we also need that ID, and we also really want students to get used to using their UTA email account. That is the official form of communication on our campus. And so activating their UTA email, using that UTA email can help us better serve the student. So just a couple of quick tips there. Time management skills, we talk to students all the time about how to balance maybe that part-time job or, just their class schedule. So we talk to students all the time about who might be enrolled in 12 or 15 hours. And so we'd say to a student, how many hours should you be studying for every 1 hour that you're enrolled in a course? So if we say to a student, you're enrolled in 12 hours, you should be studying 2 hours for every 1 hour. So 12 times 2 is 24, plus the 12 hours that they're going to class, which is 36 hours for the week. It's that full-time job. And so we try to tell a student, school's a full-time job, and then you've got a little part-time job on the side. And you want to spend some time with your friends. And that is all very reasonable. But you have to learn how to manage your time. You have to learn how to understand what the priorities are and what are the priorities for you most important, right? And so, getting those things done, learning how to study so you're effective when you do sit down. Students will say, well, I have to read these 3 chapters, and they're going to block, 3 hours. Well, realistically, the only time I might sit down and read for 3 hours straight is if I'm reading a book for enjoyment and not something that I would necessarily be studying, that I need to absorb and maintain and then apply. So if I have to study for 3 hours, I might block off 3 hours, but I'm also going to maybe take a break every 20, 30 minutes, walk around, review, maybe flip back. If I've taken some notes, maybe just go back and do some highlighting. So there are a lot of strategies to studying well, finding the best way that works for the student, and then applying that, in each course. And a student may, study differently for each course. So I can remember years ago taking an anatomy and physiology course. And so I found that if I didn't study that course every single day, I wasn't going to be prepared for class. I wasn't going to be prepared for the learning the next time I went in, because a course like that, it's like building blocks. It's one thing on top of another and another, another. And so that was how I had to learn for that course. But other classes were different. To sit down and have an expectation of reading 5 chapters the day before an exam, not ideal. So we can help a student maybe set up a 7-day study plan for breaking down those chapters and how to read them, and what to be looking for in those chapters. And of course, if they're struggling and they continue to struggle, the tutors offer some study assistance. Help me break down this chapter that I need to understand, that I need to learn. And that it's not just to learn and to memorize and write my notes and throw them away. It's to learn and to understand, because I have to take the next course, because I have to apply it to the next thing that I'm doing. And so, that's at the heart of everything that we do, because it's college. It's no longer high school. This freshman year is so important to the success of students. And so that's what we really try to emphasize to the students over and over again. So, so back to this page. So this is the division website, and you can see across the top that we have all of these resources that I was talking about. Here's the university studies degree. We also, in our office, if you have high school students at home, we offer dual credit at UTA. So the dual credit office is also located in the Division of Student Success. We have Now this fall, actually, there aren't as many students who are doing dual credit, understandably, but we have 250 to 300 high school students across the Metroplex who take dual credit at UTA, an incredibly successful group of students. And so if you are in the Arlington ISD, Mansfield ISD, Grapevine, Colleyville, over in Dallas and Grand Prairie, we work with the Lion Scholars through Arlington, and so a lot of great programs. And so we have dual credit that you can find on our website as well. So here's that chat bot that I was telling you about here. Let me move, so I can move Tasha up below. I can't move her. The May I Help You? So this is our artificial intelligence. We call him Blaze. And so students can ask their question in here. And this is the chat that we're hoping to, well, it will be a live agent or a live academic advisor that will be available to students in the next 7 to 10 days as we work on building that system to have somebody live to be able to answer questions quickly. We'll set up a schedule when that live person will be available, but the artificial intelligence is always there, and we're always working on building a knowledge base within Blaze so he can answer questions in the right way. So we have some tools on here, the learning online. Of course, last spring, everything was just so hectic and everything jumping online immediately. Students have become very adept and much more adaptable and quite successful actually learning online. And so I think that this fall semester is going to go so well. There are still some, we still keep our COVID FAQ up here. So let me click on this link. And so if your students have any questions about the coronavirus and how things are going on our campus, let me click that. The student resources. And so what we ask of our students before they're coming to campus, doing some self-monitoring, obviously, if a student is not feeling well, if they're living in housing, to remain in their residence hall, if they're commuting to campus, to please not come to campus, contact your instructor, let them know that you won't be in class. And so, you know, just taking all safety precautions at all possible. So I hope that that helped. I hope that that gave a quick review of the website. And it looks like Anna put the academic success guide up in the chat, in the link. Okay, so somebody asked about learning communities. So the live on learning communities are actually, we have some students who chose to live in learning communities in the residence hall. And so those are our students who actually live on campus, and they're in common majors. And those students are living together and they're studying together. But the 1131 basically it's a course. And what we've tried to do is pair it with a course, again, that is connected to the student's major. And so the learning community is in the residence hall. The cohorting is part of the pairing of courses. And our goal, I think, would be to, on this campus, to cohort students in as many of the same courses as we can, as students are, they know exactly the path that they want to take. They know exactly the area of study. And so they're building strong relationships and seeing the same students over and over again. And it gives them that cohorting sense and helps them feel supported by their peers. And again, the research shows just tremendous success with students who are connecting with their peers on campus and learning from other peers on campus as well. I hope that answered that question. Another question, can you tell us how students reach supplemental instruction in the PLTL? So the supplemental instruction in the PLTL are through the Academic Resource Center, which is located in the second floor of the library, but on the Division of Student Success website, look for academic resources, and you can find the supplemental instruction and the peer-led team learning. And the difference between the two programs is the SI is going to be that supplemental instruction after the class, And then the PLTLs, they're actually within the classroom and they're breaking the students up within the classroom into groups. And so that's brand new this semester. So they're only piloting that in certain courses. I couldn't tell you which courses those are right now off the top of my head, but that's how it works. And so just go to the division website, which is uta.edu/student success, and look for those academic resources.
Hey, Liz, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
So in terms of problem solving, they have all these great resources, right? What is the best piece of advice that you can give, if you boil it all down, the best piece of advice you can give to help that parents and family members can do to help their students problem solve for themselves?
Well, you know, we realize that we're having to teach students to self-advocate, right? And so I think the most important thing, Tasha, is that they are not afraid to ask questions, not afraid to speak up for themselves, being respectful, and finding that right person. And that's what our academic advisors do. It's sort of that first place to go. What's the grievance? What's the issue? And the advisor and even the student success advocates can sit with the student. What I try to do is listen to really pinpoint on what's the specific issue. And so let's say it's an issue with a roommate in housing. So, I mean, I think the first thing you have to do is, and believe me, I've been to college, I've had 3 kids go through college, and I have faced all of these issues. And I've said all these things to my own children. It's, you have to be respectful of the people involved in the situation. And you have to try to communicate and ask questions. And if that doesn't work, you know, it's going to the source first. Then, like in the residence halls, it's going to the RA. If it's a problem within the classroom, it's going to the instructor. And if the instructor isn't willing to help, then you move into the department and then somebody in the department, and it may escalate to a chair or to a dean. So I think it's being prepared and looking at the situation and looking at it in a way on how to approach it. And if you don't even know how to do that, the advisor can help you sort of put all your thoughts together and then just send you on your way and say, do this. If you need some more help, come on back and we'll try to work through it again. But let's see if you can take a few steps forward and, you know, resolve the situation. Right.
Would you even go on to say that they should come prepared to meet with an advisor, like with a paper and pen, so that they can take notes, you know, especially if they have a conflict, you know, it may be an area that they may not be familiar with handling on their own. And you'll be given some great advice, tips, strategies, and they should come prepared to take notes in a session with their advisor for sure, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that a college student has a backpack on, and in that backpack, I hope they've got a notebook and I hope they have a pen or pencil. And now, you know, sometimes that doesn't happen. So, but,
yeah.
And if they don't, when we have conversations with students, in particular, some students who are brand new to the college setting, it's having those conversations, Tasha. I don't want to turn every meeting I might have with a student into, you know, what we call teachable moments or learning moments. You know, some students just get it, right? Some students have older brothers and sisters, or their parents have attended college themselves, right? But you have to understand that some students don't know anything about college, and so being compassionate and sympathetic, and you know, and understanding that that's the case sometimes, and it's not uncommon, but helping a student understand that there are some expectations. You know, we have responsibilities and they have responsibilities, and it's shared accountability for the common good, right?
Right. I love that. I'm conscientious of the time. If there are no other pressing questions in the chat, Anna, are there any other pressing questions that we need to address in the chat?
Yeah, the very last one, Danielle's student lives in a dorm in a learning community. She just asked him if he knew that, and he said no. When do they start helping them find where to start?
So the students in a learning community in the residence hall. So when the student goes to their 1131 course, have them talk to the peer academic leader, the PAL who's teaching the course, and all the students in his class are part of that learning community as well.
Perfect.
And they can also reach out to new student courses. Nicole Wynn can help that student. You're welcome.
All right. So everyone, please turn on your cameras if you can. And Cindy, we're going to take a quick photo, but we're also going to give Ms. Liz Richter a golf clap on the screen. Thank her for her time and her information. And Liz, I really do appreciate you coming and sharing information with parents and family members. I want to go on a limb and say that it's certainly not enough time. Would you all agree? Wasn't enough time to share all of the resources available to parents and family members about all of the wonderful things that you all are doing to help them succeed. And so sometimes those conversations may not be what the students want to hear, but it's certainly something to help get them where they need to go and in order to succeed in their major of choice. So thank you again, Liz. Stay on the call with us so you can be in the photo for sure.
Hey.
All right, Cindy, let us know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, everyone, do one really quick photo, no Mav up. Everyone smile in the camera. Give us a countdown, Cindy.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Got it, thank you.
Everyone, wait, let's do one Mav up.
Okay,
A Mav up one. Ready?
ready? 1, 2, 3.
Perfect. Thank you all so much. We're not done. I have a quick thing for you all just to share just a few pieces of information. If you weren't on the call last Thursday, you missed a good one. This one was a good one too. But it's totally my fault. I did not hit record. The pitfalls of virtual learning. So I will do my very best to ensure that everyone on the team knows to turn on record, and myself. From this point forward, we will be posting all of these video sessions on our website at uta.edu/parents. We also will be publishing them on our Facebook page, and I believe it's uta.edu parent. Oh, wait, it's PFC UTA Parents. I'm sorry. UTA Parents is our Facebook page. We can put that link in the chat as well. I just want to continue to urge you all to do what you've been doing to help support your students. I say this all the time. Anytime I get in front of parents and family members, you being on the call just helps to reiterate and confirm to me your level of support, your level of investment in your students' college education. And we want to help support you and your family throughout your students' journey, whether they're incoming students, freshman students, sophomore, juniors, and or even seniors. We want to support you all throughout the way. Just continue to, attend on-campus family events. Know the resources. That means attend these type of events to get a few tools in your toolkit to share with your students whenever the time is necessary. Continue to foster a positive environment for your students to help support them and care for them and help them on their journey to emerging adulthood. Contact the Maverick Family Warm Line if you have questions or concerns. That line is 817-272-2128. And of course, please join the Maverick Parent Family Association if you haven't done so already. If you are a member of the Maverick Parent Family Association, wave your hand at me. Let me know who you are. And we appreciate you all purchasing memberships for sure. If you haven't bought a membership, there's so many things that you can get and receive as members. Obviously, you get access to this Mav Essentials Live eSeries, but you get benefits at the bookstore all across the city of Arlington, there's so many discounts. We also have some direct student benefits that include scholarships and free testing materials all year long, as well as leadership opportunities for your student. Of course, you also get customized communication from our office and our team, and you get to customize that experience. You can let us know if you want to hear from us weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or even annually. So you just let us know and we'll be happy to oblige. And then, of course, there's so many other benefits like connecting with other Maverick parents and family members, and really building your network. So sign up today. If you are a member, I do have some quick information to share with you. We sent out a form a couple days ago that we asked for you to fill out to let us know how you wanted to receive your membership pack. We are going through a renovation where we are located. We will be moved. And so we also have a temporary office space and we'll be working remotely. So we kind of have some adjustments to make. And so we really appreciate your understanding. So all of your membership packs, if you've decided to pick them up, please pick them up in the Vice President of Student Affairs office. They are located on the main level of the University Center in Suite 180. You can pick up your membership packs on Mondays from 1 to 4 and Wednesdays from 9 to 12, okay? It's just a few little things that we want to share with you to say thank you, and also your membership card so that you can get access to all of the discounts immediately. Also, please share with your students that if they need testing materials, if they need Scantrons or Blue Books, please come to the Vice President of Student Affairs office as well to pick up that information or those materials Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 in Suite 180 in the VPSA suite. Okay, they've been so gracious to help us distribute materials to you as parents and family members. So I really hope that you get in there as soon as possible and pick up your materials. Do know that we will be working to ship all of your membership packs if that's what you selected by the end of this week. So look for that information as well. A quick thing about what's next on Thursday. I cannot wait. Man, we have several parents and family members that are active members currently that will be on a parent panel to discuss you creating your own UTA experience. And so I really hope that you join us. That will be Thursday at 6. We really try to keep these eSeries sessions at times where we know parents and family members are most free. That's during your lunchtime and after work hours. So we're very cognizant of that. However, this Thursday, it will be at 4 p.m. This is the only time it'll be at 4 because we have an event at 6 o'clock, and it's our partnership that we had with Campus Recreation. Campus Rec is doing a family fitness night for us monthly on Thursdays. We will be posting from this point forward all of our family fitness nights, but it kicks off this Thursday. So we hope that you grab your student and everyone logs in at 6 p.m. So 4 o'clock and then 6 o'clock, you're gonna hang out with us Thursday evening. Just make plans to do that, okay? All right, we've kind of did our Q&A. I'm well over my time, but I wanna hear what you learned today. What'd you learn today? Tell me what you learned. Anyone? No one learned anything today? I'm in trouble.
I'm here. This is Teresa. Can you hear me?
Hi, Teresa.
I learned about all the resources that are available, which my son at this time, I try to talk to him as he started his classes, and he doesn't have much to say yet because he couldn't tell me what the UNIV class was. So I'm glad that I'm equipped to know what's happening so that I can foster communication with him.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much. If you want to share what you've learned, there is a website here, and we will send it and share it with everyone on the call today. You can just take a quick poll, let us know what you learned, just so we can make sure that we met our outcomes for this session. What'd you learn? What will you be sharing with your students? And do you feel like this is a valuable resource for you and your family? That's all. We just want to know how well we're doing. All right, listen. Thank you all so much for attending. That's all that I have. I'm 4 minutes over time. We did record this session, so we will be posting it on our website and Facebook page. And I also wanted to share with you all that eSeries is defined as essential information that engages, educates, and encourages the entire family. So thank you so much for joining Mav Essentials Live, a virtual toolkit for student success and family connection, eSeries. That's a mouthful, but I hope you join me on Thursday at 4. All right, guys, have a wonderful afternoon. And let's not be strangers. I will see you at the next family-centered event. Have a great day.